Hi everyone, good day. For this video, I will be discussing the several forms which are used when filing income tax return depending on the circumstances. Income tax return, a report that a person sends to the government about the money that he or she has earned and the taxes that he or she has paid in 1 year. Annual income tax return for individuals' earnings purely compensation income, including non-business, non-profession related income. And this return shall be filed by every resident citizen deriving compensation income from all sources, or resident alien and non-resident citizen with respect to compensation income from within the Philippines, except the following that I will be going to discuss to you. The first is an individual whose taxable income does not exceed 250,000. For number two, an individual with respect to pure compensation income as defined in Section 32A1 derived from sources within the Philippines, the income tax on which has been correctly withheld, tax due equals tax withheld under the provision of Section 79 of the Code, provided that an individual deriving compensation currently from two or more employers at any time during the taxable year shall file an income tax return. And for number three, an individual whose sole income has been subjected to final withholding tax pursuant to Section 57A of the Tax Code. And for number four, a minimum wage earner as defined in Section 22 of the Tax Code, or an individual who is exempt from income tax pursuant to the provisions of the Tax Code and other laws general or special. Annual income tax return for individuals including mixed income earner, estates, and trusts. BIR form number 1701 shall be filed by individuals who are engaged in the trade, business, or the practice of profession, including those with mixed income, those engaged in the trade, business, or profession who are also earning compensation income. In accordance with Section 51 of the Code as amended, this return shall be filed by the following individuals, regardless of amount of gross income. And for this, we have four I will be discussing to you guys. First is a resident citizen engaged in trade, business, or practice of profession within and without the Philippines. For number two, a resident alien, non-resident citizen, or non-resident alien individual engaged in trade, business, or practice of profession within the Philippines. For number three, a trust of the trust, guardian of a minor, executor, administrator of an estate, or any person acting in any fiduciary capacity for any person where such trust, estate, minor, or person is engaged in trade or business. And for number four, an individual engaged in trade or business or in the exercise of their profession and receiving compensation income as well. Annual income tax return for corporation, partnership, and other non-individual taxpayer exempt under the tax code as amended Section 30 and those exempted in Section 27, and other special laws with no other taxable income. And this return shall be filed by a corporation, partnership, and other non-individual taxpayer exempt under the tax code as amended, and those exempted in Section 27 and other special laws with no others taxable income, such as but not limited to foundations, cooperatives, charitable institutions, non-stock and non-profit, educational institutions, general, professional, partnership, and others more. Annual income tax return for corporation, partnership, and other non-individual with mixed income subject to multiple income tax rates or with income subject to special preferential rate. So this return shall be filed by every corporation, partnership, and other non-individual taxpayer with mixed income subject to multiple income tax rates or with income subject to special preferential rate, and improperly accumulated earnings tax return for corporations. This form is to be filed by every domestic corporation classified as closely held corporation except banks and other non-bank financial intermediary intermediaries, insurance companies, taxable partnerships, and general professional partnerships, and non-taxable joint ventures and enterprises duly registered with the Philippine Economic Zone Authority under RA 7916, and enterprises registered pursuant to the Basis Conversion and Development Act of 1992 RA 7227, and other similar laws shall render a true and accurate tax return in accordance with the provision of the tax code.